All right. Well, everyone, welcome to Things I Learned Today, the Daily Tilt. I am here with our very first guest on the Tilt, Elijah Fowler, one of the advisors here at Sound Financial Group for the last couple years. Great guy. Elijah, say hi to the people on the Tilt.
Good morning, More Than Commas family.
Well, what I thought we could do today, I've been sick all week, so I'm sorry there hasn't been anything posted. I've just been feeling super crummy. So what we're going to do today, having Elijah with me, is we are going to go through some cool quotes that I got out of my reading the last week or so, and just get Elijah's reaction and a little discussion about each one of them. So, Martin Luther King said, "On some positions, cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? And vanity comes along and asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? The ultimate measure of a person is not whether they stand in the moments of convenience, but where they stand in moments of challenge, moments of great crisis and controversy." What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there's an underlying tone there of truth that maybe sometimes what I see in our day and age is that it's not the most important thing to a lot of people, or that it's subjective rather than objective. So that's the first thought that comes to mind for me.
Well, the one that got me is the vanity one. Vanity comes along, is it popular? And boy, is it easier in life to just do the things that are popular. And I think of one that's just not, I don't think too controversial, but just a little different way of thinking. Years ago, my wife and I would go down to the Newport Beach area for like a longer vacation. We went down in November, and the kids were all little, and we got this great condo right in Newport Coast. And Newport Coast, if you're not familiar, is where the people in Newport Beach wish they had enough money to live. It seemed like every other car was a Maserati, and beautiful, beautiful area. And we're walking back from the beach, and I said to my wife, we should just make this an annual thing. Now, we ended up not making it an every year thing, but we did it for several years. And she said, well, I don't think we can do that because the kids start school next year. And I just said to her, I said, I don't know that we have to do that like everybody else does. And that kind of began our design on, now what we homeschool, etc. But so many people just jump into the next step in life and don't pause to say, like, wait, is the thing that is uncommon or the thing that's unpopular might be the thing that better takes care of me and my family's concerns. All right, I got another quote for you. So, a guy named Ken Costa said this: "We only grow in wisdom if we learn from our mistakes. And some name it disappointment and become poorer. Others name it experience and become richer. Some call it disappointment and become poorer. Others name it experience and become richer." Now, there is a video that I've sent to Marla that I'm going to do a little clip on, hopefully tomorrow. But it's this video of a blind guy, and the blind guy's sitting there with his sign saying, please help, anything would help. And this woman walks up, and she picks up his sign and rewrites it. And all of a sudden, people are just giving him all their change. Seems like every person that comes by reaches into their pocket. And when she came back later in the day, he said, "What did you do to my sign?" And she said, "I said the same thing, I just said it a little differently." And what she wrote on the sign was, "It's a beautiful day today and I can't see it." And that's what had everybody pour out all their spare change. And what that occurred to me is, just like this quote, is we can have the same terrible thing happen to us, and it may break us down or it may not. And many people let it break them down. Yeah. So now, let's see if I can find, I've got one. So I've been going through my notes from past conferences going back to 2020. And let me see if I can find this one quote that I highly encourage, if you get the chance, go through the old notes you've made from old conferences. It's a really easy thing to do, and it's so quick to bring great things right back to your radar. Oh man, I want the quote. There it is. Elijah, wisdom comes with age. Sometimes age comes by itself.
That's a good one.
So,
one's coming one way or the other.
Yep, that's right. Age is coming either way. The wisdom may or may not arrive in the package. Okay, now just some funny quotes. I'm personally no fan of reincarnation, but I was in my previous life. Now think about this. This is kind of nice. I'm also revisiting some jokes I wrote down. So, an elderly woman in a nursing home comes in her walker, and she says to everybody in the rec room, I will give the wildest night of your life to any man in this room who can guess what I'm holding inside my hand right now. She holds up her little fist, and one of the orderlies, thinking he was funny, kind of elbowed his buddy and said, watch this. And he yells, it's an elephant. She says, close enough.
Close enough.
And then one last quote that just might be, one last really good quote that I think could get a lot of people through their day today is, standards are like toothbrushes. Everyone agrees you should have one, but nobody wants to use yours.
Yep.
And what that quote means to me is like how important it is. Like, yes, nobody wants to use yours. And that's so if you have standards and you think it's important for the people in your life to hold them, whether that's personal or business, one of the things you have to do is enroll them in the idea of holding the standards with you, because people won't hold your standard, right? Or they will if they fear a consequence. But if instead you can make it their standard by enrolling them in the idea and how it helps the organization or how it helps the family or whatever it is, that's what makes a big change.
By default, they're not going to, because they're following theirs.
That's right. Yeah. They're following their standard
Yep.
until they adopt yours.
Yep.
If there's a standard you have that's important to you. Okay, now here is the one that's just a nice leave off for the day. Make great memories, because you're going to need them. And I think about that quote being, you're going to need them because there's going to be tough times. You're going to need them because there's lonely times. You're going to need them because there's times in the future when those people we made the memories with, or the situations we were in where we could make those memories, are just not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And memories, like wealth, is cultivated. And you cultivate it through relationships, you cultivate it through conversation, you cultivate it through time spent and reflection. But all of those things in the rearview mirror just end up as a list of memories. And we're either going to be really pleased with that future where we have those memories, or we're not.
Mm-hmm.
I think as we sign off here today, Elijah, this will be a great one. If you wouldn't mind, Marla, just cut over to the camera and show everybody the view for Elijah and I before we go to lunch. It's a beautiful industrial office park, but on the other side of that is the Puget Sound. So with that, I hope this tilt's been useful to you guys today. Look forward to having you back here, hopefully tomorrow. This cold holds off. And Elijah, it's great to have you as a first-time guest.
Thanks for having me.
Now get out there and crush the day.